Dear students, now let us start the chapter that is chemical bonding. Chemical bonding. For your kind information, this chapter belongs to 11th portion and this is the 4th chapter from NCERT. Every year around 4 questions asked from this particular chapter. 4 questions either in medical, engineering, that is IIT or JEE Main ETC. Let us start with the planner, that is the topics we have to study in this particular chapter. The first topic is types of bond. Types of bond. Second is the how to calculate the total number of bonds. Total number of bonds. Third is the paramagnetism, diamagnetism. Then hybridization and lone pair of electron. Then bond angle, dipole moment and bond order. Next is the hydrogen bonding. These are the topics we have to study. Out of these all topics, these 4 topics, paramagnetism, hybridization, bond angle, is very, very important, and one is also shape. Means these 5 topics are very important, from where the questions asked everywhere in different entrance like JEE Main, JEE Advanced, different PMTTC. Now the first topic, that is types of bond. As you know, in bond formation, always valence electron participate. What is the valence electron? Electrons which are present in outermost shell. For example, oxygen atomic number 8, 2, 6. There are 6 valence electron in oxygen. For nitrogen 7, 2, 5. There are 5 valence electron in nitrogen. So in bond formation, maximum 6 electron of oxygen or 5 electrons of nitrogen will participate in bond formation. Now, why bond has formed? This is the main question, why bond has formed. So for bond formation, because every atom or element has the tendency to attain octet or duplet. Hydrogen has the tendency to attain octet, and except hydrogen, all the elements have the tendency to attain octet. In order to complete octet or duplet, or in order to complete its inert gas configuration, every atom or element has the tendency to form the bond. But nature of the element, atoms which are going to for bond formation, either metal or non-metal, therefore, due to the different nature of elements, there are different types of bonds also. The first bond which we have studied today is the electrovalent or ionic bond. So, first type of bond is electrovalent or ionic bond. How this bond has formed? So, this bond is formed between M, electropositive and electronegative element और B में metals and non-metals, non-metal और electrons rich and electrons poor elements. Remember, this particular bond, electrovalent or ionic bond, is formed between electropositive, electronegative element, metals or non-metals, electrons rich or electrons poor. Remember, every electropositive elements is metal, electronegative element is non-metal, and metals are supposed to be electrons rich, non-metals are supposed to be electrons poor. But how it is formed? It is formed by complete transfer of electron, by complete transfer of electron. Remember, at once the electron has completely transferred, it becomes the sole property of the elements where the electron has transferred. Means, at once electron becomes transferred completely, the element which has transferred the electron has no right on that particular electrons. For example, sodium, this is example. For example, sodium, atomic number 11, it has valency 1. Chlorine, atomic number 17, valency 7. Sodium has 1 electron and chlorine has 7 electron. So, in bond formation, 1 electron of sodium and 7 electron of chlorine will participate in bond formation. So, if sodium and chlorine atoms comes together for bond formation, this 1 valence electron from sodium will completely transfer to the chlorine atom. But as soon as this sodium will completely transfer this electron, it forms cations, and after gaining these electrons, chlorine forms anions. And by transferring this electron, sodium attain the inert gas configuration of 2,8 and chlorine attain the inert gas configuration of 2,8,8. This is the inert gas configuration of neon, this is the inert gas configuration of argon. These cations and anions now hold together mutual by electrostatic force of attraction, and this particular electrostatic force of attraction which binds these cations and anions Na plus and Cl minus is called electrovalent or ionic bond. Electrovalent or ionic bond. Ionic bond. So, first review of this particular bond. This bond we found between electropositive, electronegative, metals, non-metals, electrons rich, electrons poor element by complete transfer of electron. At once the electron has completely transferred, it becomes the sole property of element where the electron has transferred. For example, sodium, which has only 1 valence electron, chlorine, it has 7 valence electron. So 1 electron of sodium will participate in bond formation, 7 electron of chlorine will participate in bond formation. But as soon as this 1 electron, valence electron of sodium has completely transferred the chlorine atom, sodium will form the cations Na plus, chlorine will form the cation Cl minus. After transferring this electron, 1 electron, sodium attain the inert gas configuration which is equal to of neon, and argon attain, Cl minus attain the inert gas configuration of argon. And these cations and anions bind together by electrostatic force of attraction, and this electrostatic force of attraction will bind this cation and anions is called electrovalent or ionic bond. As far as the properties is concerned, all the ionic compounds like NaCl, their aqueous solution very good conductor of electricity. Second, since this bond is formed, it is the good conductor of electricity in aqueous solution. And secondly, ionic compounds like NaCl is easily soluble, highly soluble in water, because water is also a ionic solvent, because there is the principle of solubility, like dissolves like, if solute is ionic, it will certainly totally dissolve in ionic solvent. if solute is non-ionic, it will only dissolve in non-ionic solvent. So, this is the first bond. Now, the second bond is covalent or covalent bond. So, let us start this covalent bond. So, the second bond which is very important is covalent bond. This is covalent bond. It is also called dative bond. Dative bond. How this bond is formed? So, this bond is formed between A में two non-metals, B में two electrons poor element, C, since both are electrons poor, both are non-metals and non-metals electronegatives, therefore, between two electronegative elements. Remember, since both are poor, electrons poor, so no has the tendency to completely transfer the electrons. So, therefore, there is the chance of mutual sharing of electrons. Therefore, by mutual sharing of electron. Here the example, chlorine, atomic number 17, 287. There are 7 valence electrons. Suppose 2 chlorine atoms comes together, each has 7 valence electron. It has 7 valence electron. So, one chlorine atom mutual sharing this one electron, this mutual shared this electron. Therefore, Cl single bond Cl is formed, which form the Cl2 molecule. And in Cl2 there is one single covalent bond. It may be double also, like in oxygen there are 6 valence electron. Each oxygen has 6 valence electron. So, it participate to 8. This is 2 O double bond O, that is O2. This is the example of double covalent bond. Now, triple covalent bond arises in nitrogen, which has 5 valence electron. So, each nitrogen mutual shared these 3 electrons, nitrogen triple bond formed to nitrogen molecule. So, it may be single, double, triple, but this particular bond may be either polar or non-polar. So, first is the polar. Polar bond is formed when electronegativity difference between element is equal to 0. It is equal to non-zero. Non-zero means not equal to 0. Example, HCl. Non-polar, where electronegativity difference is equal to 0. Non-polar, electronegativity difference equal to 0. Example, HCl etc. So, remember, this particular bond is formed between two non-metals, two electrons poor elements and two electronegative elements by mutual sharing of electron. Example, it may be either single, double or triple. Cl2, in Cl2 single covalent bond, in O2 double covalent bond, in N2 triple covalent bond, but it may be polar or non-polar. How polar covalent bond is formed? If electronegativity difference is not equal to 0. Example, HCl. Non-polar, when electronegativity not equal to 0, that is the example Cl2, N2, O2 etc. Now, the third bond, which is called coordinate coordinate or coordinate bond. It is a special type of covalent bond, and it is designated as arrow. But the head of the arrow must be directed in the direction where electron has temporarily shifted. And how it is formed? So by temporary shifting of lone pair of electron. Temporary means the element or atom which has temporarily shifted the electrons on that particular lone pair of electron, that atom or element has also the same right, and that electron has also counted in their octet or duplet. All the properties of this covalent bond, coordinate bond is same as that is the covalent bond. Example, ammonia molecule, it has one lone pair electron. So if H plus comes together, then this lone pair of electron is temporarily shifted to H plus, and NH4 compound ion is formed. So in NH4 plus, it has asked in the different entrance exams previously. In NH4 plus, 1 is the coordinate valent and 3 is the single covalent bond. So these are the 3: electrovalent ionic, covalent or dative bond, coordinate valent bond. These are the 3 types of bond. But the second topic which is very important, that how to calculate the total number of bonds without drawing or seeing the structure of a particular compound. This question is asked almost every year in different entrance exams. As last year the question was asked, what is the total number of bond in P4O6? So we must aware, without seeing, without drawing the structure, how to calculate the total number of bonds.